Hello, welcome back to my marriage tutorial. In this episode, we're going to carry on our Fireflower sort of mini series thing, and we're going to be trying to finish it this episode, but it might stretch on to another episode. I don't really know. But anyway, the first thing we're going to need is these fireballs because we're going to be using them to shoot from Mario. So if you open up your sprite sheet, where are the images? They are just down here on the sprite sheet that you should have. If you haven't got it, there's a download link in the description, but you probably should by now. So there's three little fireballs here. You want to just get them. If you don't know how to do this, just watch my previous tutorials. I show you how to do that in a lot of detail. And you should then have these sprites here. And yeah, here they are. And they're opening in Firefox for some reason, but anyway. So you want to go back into your Mario project, and then you want to choose new sprite from the file, and I'll just find the folder. Okay, so I'm in the folder now, and you just want to get the fire one to start with, and you can see it's just turned up there. So we're going to call this sprite Fireball1, just like that, and now we're going to need to make a variable, and we're going to do it for this sprite only, and we're going to call it hidden. And basically, that's going to be deciding whether the fireball is hidden or not, so you can't see it. And when the space key is pressed, that's going to be set to false, and so then the fireball will fire out of the end of Mario or whatever. And the other thing, we're going to need to make a global variable, so that's for all sprites. We're going to need to call that fireball count, just like that. And that will keep track of how many fireballs we have on screen. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in some scripts into the fireball to make the magic happen. And so you want to start by pointing in direction 90, and the first thing we're going to do is just hide the fireball because we don't want it to show at the start. And we're going to set a few variables. So we're going to set hidden, the one we just made, to 1. And oh yeah, we need to make another variable called velocity. This will keep track of the fireball's velocity. So because we're going to want it to bounce up and down on the floor like that. And we're going to set velocity to 0 to start with. This is kind of similar to do with what we had in the Mario sprite, but a little different. So now we're going to put in a forever loop. So this will just keep going on forever. And we're going to put in an if and an else. And so here we're going to need to get this operator thing here. And we're going to need to put if hidden equals 1. So that's basically if the space key hasn't been pressed and it's just hidden right now, we're just permanently gonna go to Mario. So where's the here it is. Go to Mario. Where's Mario? There it is. And so that will just repeatedly put the fireball to where Mario is. If we run that right now, it will just hide itself and it will go wherever Mario is. So now what next thing we're going to need to do is put in another if and an else. And this is basically going to detect if it's touching all these grounds that we have, all these ground 0, ground 1 and ground 2. And there isn't really an easier way to do this, but we're just going to put in lots of OR statements like this. And I'm going to go into not look sensing, and where is it? Touching color. This one. No, not that one. This one. I get them muddled up. So yeah, if it's touching ground 0 or touching ground 1, or just duplicate that, or touching ground 2. I am now recording in 720p, just because of the file size and stuff, and just to make it a little bit easier to record. So I'm going to have to use this a little bit. So sorry about that. So yeah, and we're going to set fireball count. No, we're not. What am I doing? Set velocity to 4 because that will make it jump up and down. Well, not down, but just it will set its velocity to go up, and then else we're just going to change velocity by, and we're going to get a variable that we've made previously called gravity. You'll remember that we used that for jumping Mario up and down. Well, it's pretty much the same principle for this. So basically, if it touches the ground, it will bounce up. Otherwise, it will just go down because the gravity will decrease the velocity. And then we're basically just going to change y. Where is it? Just in here, I think, or not in there. Yeah, because we need to be within this else. This is only happening if it's not hidden. And yeah, we're going to just change it by velocity, just to actually bring that velocity into effect. And to move it forward, we're just going to use this move steps script thing. So we're just going to move 5 steps forward. You can change that to whatever speed you want. I think 5's a perfectly good speed. So yeah, so now nothing's going to actually happen because we haven't detected if the space key is going to be pressed. So what we need to do is go into the stage, or not the stage, Mario, and we're just going to need to add in a new one at the bottom or whatever. And we're going to do forever if, where is it, sensing, if key space is pressed, then we are going to broadcast. Where is broadcast? I haven't used Scratch in quite some time, so I don't know where everything is. But we're going to create a new message, and we're just going to call it Fireball. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what we need to do for Mario. So then if we go into stage, oh no, one thing we need to do actually is put in a wait time of, this is basically how much time you can wait between like each fireball being fired. I think 1 second is probably good, but you can change it to whatever you want. So yeah, we're going to go into the stage, and we're going to put in another, when the green flag is clicked, and at the start we want to set that, remember that fireball count variable we made, we're going to set it to 0 because there aren't going to be any fireballs at the start. And then we're going to make a forever loop as per usual, and in this forever loop we're going to put in an if and an else, and we're going to get this and in this and we're going to put 2 of these because we're going to be detecting the value of 2 variables. So what we're going to be getting is this, in this sensing one, we're going to need this to get the variable, so of, not bottom sensor, but fireball 1, here it is. Actually, we're not going to need that yet, but we will put that in a second because we've only got 1 fireball right now. That's just for more fireballs, which I'm going to add in just a second. So yeah, if that's 0, i.e. it's not hidden, so it's going to be showing, then we are going to, actually this is not going to, I'm going to need to duplicate this, aren't I? Actually, I think, I don't know what to do first. Let's do this first. You probably don't really know what I'm talking about, but anyway. Let us put in another if and an else down here, and this is just basically going to be if either of them, this is just updating the variable count variable. This is what all this is basically. We can just duplicate this, and we're going to get an OR. We're going to duplicate this again, put that in there. So yeah, I'm really going to need to create. Let's put in the when I receive first, and then we'll come back to this. So, oh, what did I just do? Can you not undo? Undelete. Huh. I don't know what I just did. Oh, I think I just cleaned it up, didn't I? Yeah. Alright, sorry about that. Let's, when I receive, remember we made that fireball for when we fire the fireball from the Mario scripts, just here, broadcast fireball. So when that happens, when we receive it, we're going to put in a little if statement here. So you can decide what your maximum number of fireballs you want on screen at one time. All I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 just to make it simple, but you could have like 3 if you want. You just got to update all these scripts and stuff. So yeah, you can do that if you want. I'm just going to do 2 because I think it's easier, and really you only want to be able to fire 2 at a time. But yeah, it's entirely up to you. It's your game. So we're gonna put 2 into that. We're gonna detect the value of variable count, and so if the variable count is not 2, so if we haven't reached our limit, say you want to have 3, you would make that 3 instead. It's basically just detecting that we haven't reached our limit of fireballs on screen. So yeah, we're going to put in an if and an else just here, and we're going to put in another of these things, another one of these things, and we're going to get that, where is it, this thing, and we're going to make this, I need to change that first, fireball, where is it, fireball, there it is, hidden, if hidden of fireball 1 equals 0, then we're going to make a few new broadcast thingies. So we're going to do broadcast new, and it's either going to be fireball 1 or fireball 2. For this one, we are going to make it fireball 2. Otherwise, don't click that. Do the duplicate one. Otherwise, we're going to broadcast fireball 1. Now, basically, what that's saying, if the fireball 1 is visible, then we want to broadcast fireball 2 because we want that one to appear, not fireball 1 again. Otherwise, it'll be fireball 1 if the one that's already visible is fireball 2. If you understand me. So yeah, what am I doing now? I have completely forgotten. Oh yeah, we've forgotten something right here. We need to put in another if and an else just here and put that inside there. And we're going to need another equals here. And the fireball count variable we're going to need to get, and we're going to make that equal to 1. So we're going to detect if the fireball count equals to 1, i.e. there's only 1 on screen. So you can see here, fireball count can't be 2 because we've specified that there. And if it's 1, so there's already 1 screen, we can make another one. Otherwise, if it's 0, then we're just going to broadcast the first one because it doesn't really matter. We can broadcast either of them, but we're just going to broadcast the first one. So hopefully you understand that ish. And so yeah, we're just going to go back into the fireball and sorry, excuse me. And we're going to finish the stuff in here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to update the collisions, not the collisions, the costumes. What am I on about? And we're going to just do next costume. Forever like that. But we are going to put in a wait time, obviously, otherwise it will completely. I don't know what to say. It will completely just go mental. And that's just for the costumes. The most important thing we need to do is put in a when I receive fireball 1, and we're going to point it in the direction and the direction of Mario, however you get that. I have no clue. Here it is. Yep. So we select Mario from this drop-down list, and then we get direction. So we're basically just going to point in the direction of Mario, so it fires in the right direction. And we're going to set hidden to 0 because we don't want to be hidden when we're flying through the air. And finally, we're going to show it, so it actually appears on screen. And we're then just going to control it from like despawning, basically. We're going to wait 2 seconds. We're going to wait 2 seconds, and that's basically how long it's going to be on screen. That's all it is. And then we're going to set hidden back to 1. What's going on here? And then we're going to hide it. And the cycle will just repeat itself. Just like so. And that is basically it. We just need to update a few things in here. Because remember we left that. And so basically we're going to set a lot of variable, set the, whatever it's called, fireball count to 2 in here. Because if the oh goodness, what are we doing here? If the first fireball is visible, then we're going to set fireball count to 2, and we need to update that because that makes no sense, does it? We have it right there down there. I realised that. Oh well. Go away. Oh no, what have I done now? Oh, I think that's fine. It was 0, wasn't it? So, oh goodness. Right. And fireball 2. We need fireball 2, don't we? Let's duplicate this. And it's going to be fireball 2. And that's all we need to change. So if you want to add in more fireballs, it's pretty simple. And just name it fireball 2 to keep it all nice and tidy. So if we go back to the stage, we are just going to, so we've set the fireball count to 2, if both of them are visible. Else, if just one of them is visible, so so either one could be visible, then we're going to set it to, let's just duplicate this. Getting really lazy now. set fireball count to 1. Otherwise, if they're both hidden, we can just, oh goodness, that's got a lot, hasn't it? Let's not do that. Let's just make it from scratch. If let's duplicate this, right, and change this to and. That's very important. And we're going to set both of these to 1. And this tutorial is getting extremely long now, so I apologize for that. I just really wanted to get this done. And yeah, so if they're both hidden, then fireball count's going to be 0. So that's all there is to that. And I'm hoping that should work just about now. So let's test this out. First of all, we need to get the, I hope those sounds aren't too loud. And as you can see, we can now fire fireballs, although it's not allowing. How long have I got the wait time on this? I think I'm going to set it a bit less than that, 0.5. Maybe. That is a lot. Oh, we've got a bug. I think it is. Not sure why that's happening. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I've realized what I've done wrong. We've got a major error here. Uh, we need to actually change these to Fireball 2. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I was thinking there. So now that should work a bit better. Yeah, so now we can fire 2 out the end like that. Now, if you wanted to add in more fireballs than 2 on screen at a time, all you would have to do is put in another series of these for hidden of fireball 3, etc. And then, oh, actually, it could get very complicated. You know, you should just do 2 and just stay on the safe side. Oh yeah, one other thing that we need to fix. Mario can fire when he doesn't have the fire flower, so all we need to do to fix that is wherever our script is. Here it is. We're going to need to put in a little and thing here. If key space is pressed, and fire flower, remember we set that equals 1, then only then that will get executed. And also I think a shorter wait time would be a bit better, just so you can do it slightly more rapidly. So now he can only fire when he gets the fire flower. So if we yeah, we can't fire now. I'm pressing the space bar, and yeah, he can only fire when he's got that. So yeah, I'm sorry that this tutorial was so long and boring. But yeah, I just wanted to finish this and get this done. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, in the next tutorials in this series, I thought I'd just talk to you a second. I will kind of just be fixing bugs, I think, and because there are an awful lot. If I just show you a few of them, like you can go through like that, which is not very good. This one, where it just, yeah, I don't even know what's going on there. And there's just a lot of things that we need to fix. And like this still doesn't work. Nothing comes out of it. There's just a lot we need to fix. If you want me to make a tutorial of that, then feel free to comment. It's just they will be a bit tedious and a bit boring, like this tutorial was. But yeah, I hope that's alright. And I have tried today to make a tutorial after school, which is kind of weird. I mean, I'm nearly breaking up for the summer holidays, so videos should be coming out a bit more regularly then. So yeah, I'm sorry that, I mean, the last video I made was like about a month ago, over a month ago. So I will try and make videos a bit more regularly. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions for this series, I have no idea where it's going. I'm just sort of rambling on doing random stuff. Then feel free to leave a comment or just contact me or whatever. And I will try and listen to your feedback. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.